G'day, it's Pete here and I'm back with Bec O'Reilly for some Reboot Your Bridge. Now today I wanted to cover bidding as the opener and talking about how I like to structure it. Anyway, let's jump straight in and see what we can do. So as the opener, what I like to do is work out firstly, am I balanced or am I unbalanced? And there's sort of two different structures that I like to go through when doing that. So the first thing I want to talk about is what hands do you consider balanced?
A hand that doesn't have any singletons or voids, or two doubletons.
Yep. So that's the very classical structure of what a balanced hand is. If you had a 5-card major, would you open a no trump with that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good. So I'm more flexible on what I call balanced, largely because whenever you open a no trump, that is like the most winning bid that you'll make in your system. Like, you always will do well after you open a no trump. So I like to open no trumps a lot, and I also find that describing hands as balanced is a really good technique for letting partner judge where to go, because we've limited our hand, and then they know that we've got a couple of cards in our suit. So the general rules that I use are the ones that you had, so no singletons or voids, and no two doubletons. That's the one that I kind of bend a little.
Yeah.
So hands with two doubletons I call semi-balanced hands.
Yeah.
So the way I try and judge it is if I have a 5-card major and a 5-4 shape, then I will treat that hand as unbalanced because of the 5-card major. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I've got a 5-card minor, I'm happily treat that as a balanced hand. So if I had a 5-4-2-2 shape with a 5-card minor, mm-hmm. balanced, with a 5-card major, unbalanced.
Okay.
Also, if I've got a 6-card minor, I don't mind treating that as balanced as well, unless it's a really strong 6-card minor. Mm-hmm. So if I had a 6-3-2-2 shape with a 6-card minor, I can treat that as balanced, whereas if I had it in a major, definitely unbalanced. So I like just stretching those rules for what I consider balanced, and even I break those rules sometimes. But like that's my generalized rules. But the way I like to bid as opener is work out firstly, am I balanced or am I unbalanced? And if I'm balanced, how do I go about trying to work out what it is I break myself up into the 4 different point ranges of minimum, medium, maximum or extras, which is 12 to 14 for minimum, 15, 17 medium, 18, 19 maximum, 20, 22 extras, and anything stronger will open 2 clubs. Mm-hmm. And I like to bid no trumps in my first or second bid. So on this hand, I'm a minimum hand, so I'd open a diamond, and if partner responds, I'll bid no trumps at the cheapest level possible. Even if I had a 4-card spade suit and partner responded a heart, I tend to just rebid 1 no trump. Some people will bid 4-card suits up the line. Mm-hmm. Some people want to preferentially bid no trumps. So do you bid 4-card suits up the line, or do you bid?
It depends who I'm playing with.
Yeah, that's fine. And they're two different methods. They're both fine, but you want to know what your style is in your partnership. Yeah. So here you'd open a diamond and rebid no trumps at the last level. If we're a bit stronger, here we've got a 16 count, so this is a 1 no trump. If we go even stronger, this one is 10, 15, 18 high card points and a length point, so 19 points. So I'd open this a club and jump in no trumps. And then if I've got a stronger one, then I'll open 2 no trumps if I've got 20 to 22. So bidding balanced hands, nice and easy, but it's important to know, do you bid 4-card suits up the line? And that only applies at the 1 level if you do that, never at the 2 level. And secondly, what actually defines a balanced hand? So they're the easy ones, bidding as opener. The trickier ones are if you're unbalanced. Mm-hmm. So what I like to do is think, am I single suited, 2 suited, or 3 suited? And what I mean by this is, do we have how many suits that are 4 cards or longer? Yeah. So this one's a single suited hand. Mm-hmm. And then also what you want to do is break it up into, are you minimum, medium, or maximum? And minimum's about 12 to 14 bad 15s. Mediums, good 15s up to bad 18s. And then maximum sort of good 18 to 21-ish, depending on what you'll open two clubs. What you'll open two clubs. And if you're single suited like this, if you're minimum, what you want to do is just open one of your suit and rebid it at the lowest level. Medium, open one of your suit and jump in the suit. And do you know what you're meant to do if you've got, say, 19 to 21 with a 6-card suit? Or what you can do? So I'll see if I can bring it up. So a hand like this.
Not really.
Not really? Okay, so here what we can do is we can open one club and partner responds. So if we jump to 3 clubs, this is just sort of 16 to 18 total points. And we're too strong for this. But we're obviously not strong enough to open 2 clubs. So if the opponents hadn't been bidding and partner just responded, what I like to do is actually jump to 3 no trumps. Now I wouldn't do it on this hand because I've got a singleton spade, and that's the suit the opponents have been bidding. But if you're in the maximum range and you're single suited, you can open one of your suit and jump to 3 no trumps. And the reason being is if you go through all the balanced hands, do any of those jump to 3 no trump? No. So this would actually define an unbalanced hand. So it's used as a way of saying I've got a single suited hand with sort of 18 plus, but not strong enough to open 2 clubs. And I didn't want to rebid 3 of my suit because you might pass that. So the maximum single suited hand can open one of your suit and rebid 3 no trumps. In this case, I would actually just bid 2 spades to say I'm forcing, tell me more. But if, say, partner responded a spade, you could jump to 3 no trumps on this sort of hand. So does that make sense of how to bid single suited hands?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we want to look at 2 suited hands. Okay. 2 suited hands or 3 suited hands, you basically treat them the same. There's no good way of bidding 3 suited hands, 4-4-1s. You sort of just pick the least lie that you can, like the least evil bid that you can actually make. But with 2 suited hands, again, break it up into minimum, medium, or maximum. Minimum about 12 to about 15, medium good 15 to 18, maximum good 18 plus. So what you can do is with a minimum hand, what you want to do is you want to open one of your longest suit, and if they keep responding at these really awkward levels, I'll just kick them out. Weird hand. So let's just make them pass. Okay, so with minimum hands, what you want to do is open one of your longest suit, and then you want to bid the cheaper option of either rebidding your suit or bidding the other suit. So which would it be in this case?
2 clubs.
Yeah. And this doesn't promise any extras or deny extras. It's just like you've got 11 plus points with 5 diamonds and 4 clubs. Yeah, and that's all you're really showing by doing this. Bidding in your suit here doesn't promise any extras. Some people think it does, but the only ways to limit your hand are repeating a suit. This isn't doing it, or bidding no trumps, which we haven't done either of those. Let's see if they'll be good and not bid. Okay, so here again, which point range are we in?
12.
12, so that would be 12 plus 1 for a length point. So we're still in the minimum range. So we can open 1 diamond. I tried so hard. No. Alright. So let's stop them bidding again. And let's say a partner responded a spade. What would we rebid here?
2 diamonds.
Yeah. So again, we've got diamonds and hearts. We want to check out which of the cheaper options do we want to bid. In this case, it's 2 diamonds. This doesn't show our hearts, but this says that we're a minimum unbalanced hand with at least 5 diamonds. Repeating our suit doesn't promise 6. What you want to look at for how many it promises is if your partner has bypassed any suits, then it only promises 5. Whereas if partner just bid 1 heart and didn't bypass any suits, bidding 2 diamonds here would promise 6, because what you want to go through is we're an unbalanced hand, so if we had diamonds and hearts, we could support hearts, which we would do on this actual hand. If we had diamonds and spades, we could bid a spade. If we've got diamonds and clubs, we can bid 2 clubs. So in this auction, we'd be showing 6. But when partner bypasses a suit, there's 2 options that we've got. We've either got single suited diamonds that would repeat like this, or we have diamonds and hearts, which is going to bid the cheaper of the options.
Yep.
Okay. So what point range are we in here?
16.
Yeah.
Plus
17. 17. So is that minimum, medium, maximum?
Medium.
Medium. Yeah. So again, we're ignoring the other 3 hands, but if we had an auction go like this, what you want to do if you're in the medium range is you want to open your longest suit and you want to bid your other suit regardless. So it doesn't matter if it's higher or lower, but here we can bid 2 hearts. Now this is a reverse, shows 16 or more points, and shows that we're in the medium hand, and that's because the minimum one would never bid the higher ranking of the suits like that. So hence this is 16 plus. Here again we're in the medium range, that if we went 1 diamond and partner bid a spade, again we just need to only bid 2 clubs, we don't need to jump. So here 2 clubs is fine. We haven't shown our extras yet, but when partner limits their hand, then we can bid again. Or maybe not, depending on what we're interested in, because we go, are we interested in game? Yes, no, maybe, and go from there. And what about if you're in the maximum range? What do we want to do?
Do you jump?
Yeah, so there's 2 different styles. Some people play new suits, always forcing, but the very common way is that if you jump, this shows a game forcing hand. It shows that you're the good 18, 19 plus points, and it says, partner, I want to play in game opposite you 6 points. I've got at least 5 diamonds, at least 4 clubs, and a game force. So here, this is how we can bid all of our unbalanced hands. So does that make sense about how I like to structure how you want to bid balanced hands, unbalanced hands?
Yeah.
So balanced hands, work out what you define as balanced, and then work out which point range you are and which no trump levels you actually have to bid in. Single suited, minimum open one of your suit, rebid it at the lowest level. If you're 1 suited, if you're 1 suited medium, you jump, and if you're 1 suited with a maximum, you can rebid 3 no trumps, which shows a single suited game force hand. Whereas if you're 2 suited, if you're minimum, you just bid the cheaper of your 2 options. Medium, you always bid your other suit, whether it's higher or lower. Maximum, you can jump. But if you had diamonds and hearts, you wouldn't need to jump because the reverse would encompass that. So that's how you can bid all your bid as the opener. Make sense?
Yeah.